use of so-called deflection technology is the first ever incident of humans deliberately changing the path of a celestial object. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, countries have promised to send more weapons to Ukraine following several Russian missile strikes. NATO partners say they will develop a European air and missile defense system. A rare protest attacking President Xi Jinping has taken place in Beijing, days before a major Communist Party Congress. And the UK Prime Minister is facing increasing pressure to reverse her mini-budget. That's the latest feature story news. Sally Patterson reporting.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
We are the Three Amigos!
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Finally Thursday.
Finally. Man,
Finally Thursday. All right.
Been waiting a week to get this over with.
Well, you know, the Three Amigos show, it's been hit or miss for a while. It seems like one of you have been gone. But what I like about it...
It's my fault.
But what I like about it is the other two of us always seem to be able to pull off a show. So, and that's on you guys being awesome. So, a round of applause for Alan Milani and Chuck Ritchie. There you go. All right. Were you listening? You had to do some work for the carpet store. I think you were going to town to pick up carpet. Did you listen to the show?
I caught the first part of it, and thank you for being very gentle on me.
Yeah, we didn't pick on you too hard. That
No,
was
not
our
at all.
mistake.
Well, you at least let him know before the show that you weren't going to be there. So you got one up on me, Alan.
Yeah.
I sent Chuck a text message last night, and all I said was, tomorrow's Thursday. His response was like, yeah, it is, so.
I fixed my alarm. I'm good to go now.
You're good to go.
It's working.
Yeah, but it's hard to trust in that, Chuck, because we've been doing this for a few years, and the alarm story, don't you think it's a little old, Alan?
It's a little tired. Yeah.
Look at him grin.
Well, this particular time it was true.
All right.
We still gotta get him a superhero suit.
Yeah?
With a big T on the front.
For Tardy?
Yeah. Captain Tardy.
Captain Tardy.
Yeah.
I was worried about where that was going for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Weather-wise.
This is a family show.
It is yeah, whatever. Probably not the best family show. All right. If your family is only adults, yes. How's that? All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Because not that we go for that, but it just happens sometimes because of the three of us. There's probably maybe a thing or two you wouldn't want your kids to learn on this show.
I would let my kids listen.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to, but I would let them.
I want to listen to the three old dumb guys. Can't we listen to something else?
Why are we on talk radio again?
Yeah, there's no hip-hop music here.
Is the Pokemon theme song going to play at any point?
Oh, we could probably work that in. Weather, you guys are so spoiled. Just hanging out in the nice weather. Doesn't help your fire problems, but you got nice weather. 75.
It's been amazing.
Abundant sunshine. Tonight, 41. Few passing clouds. Just photocopy that. Now, tomorrow, it's actually a partly cloudy day. That's as close as you'll get to some rain. I think at 3%. Still high of 74. And then I'm looking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in a row of sunshine. No rain in sight. Saturday, 76. Sunday, 77. Monday, 78. Tuesday, 77. Then I see a 76, 75. Looks around the 21st, you'll actually dip down and hit 20. By Halloween, it says you should be around 58, which would be getting back to more normal. But you still got a good 8-day run of some incredible weather. Don't wait. Get those Christmas lights up now.
Right?
That's all I'm
Get
saying.
your Halloween stuff up. Decorate your thing.
Now, no one can probably see your house, Alan, but do you put Christmas lights on it?
No, not really.
Because you would need like 4 stories of scaffolding to put lights on the top of your house. That'd be scary.
On the back, yeah, we probably would.
Yeah. Years ago in Chihuahua, when I was a kid, my parents owned it, and now it's the Chihuahua Motel. But back then it was the 49er. Giant blue spruce tree right by the road as you came into town. And it got to the point where it got so big we couldn't keep Christmas lights on it ourselves. And at that time, it was before all the rules you have now, for insurance purposes. But at that time, the city would actually come out in the bucket truck every year and put a couple new rounds of lights, going up to the top of it. It was pretty cool, but it's been cut down. They eventually had to cut it down because it was like blocking traffic.
Aw.
Yeah, but pretty cool. Some people might remember that. Some of the old timers might remember that when you're driving at Christmas time. We had the big blue spruce tree all lit up. So, but
I did find a use for my handicap ramp.
Really?
I'm gonna use PVC pipe and build a tunnel, and I've got this black fabric to cover the whole thing with, and I'm gonna put lights in there that go to the music, and yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be great. I'm gonna light it all up.
All right, sounds like my bedroom.
Put a fog machine and
disco lights.
I'm
the only one in it. Doesn't stop me from
big dark
dancing.
scary tunnel.
Yes. Go to the light. Go to the light. All right. There's weather. What am I at today? Oh, a balmy 58 degrees. Let's see what kind of cruddy weather. This is like living in Seattle. It really is. 69 and kind of gray. Yep. All right. Only down to 55 tonight. Yeah, we get a 50% chance of rain, though. We get plenty of rain. In fact, I have 3 days of rain in a row, which is kind of weird because it seems like it rains once every 3 days here, but it's flipping around. Winter's coming. Did you see my picture on Facebook of my new spaceship?
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty cool, huh?
That looks amazing.
Thank you, NASA.
Yes. Did you see the little picture of me inside with the colored lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, disco.
Yeah, it was kind of
Hot and
disturbing.
steamy.
Because I'm in a hot tub and you can't see anything. You just see my shoulders, but you're like, is he naked? And
I'm
why does
surprised
he
you
look so
didn't-
scared?
That was not
You
a.
didn't take off that sweater.
Yeah.
I should have put a title up on there because if people that aren't on my Facebook page, it's a picture of one of those blow up hot tubs, and then it's a picture of what they actually are. I called it because it looks like a space capsule. I called it my space capsule tent, and then you can see me inside the space capsule tent in the hot tub. I put that whole thing together, $475. I'm really proud of that. Walmart was running not to advertise for them, but it was like I was like, really, a blow-up hot tub? I've had them before. They're awesome. Different ranges of quality in them. I'm probably taking a chance. We'll see. But I was like, $245, really? And then I was like, okay, so it's Maine, a blow-up hot tub that's just going to turn into a popsicle. What could I do? And I was talking to different people, and I said something about an insulated tent, and then I went, oh, I've seen those tent ice houses for ice fishing. So I went and got one of those, which strangely enough looks exactly like a 60s space capsule. And I put that over the hot tub, and it's awesome. I can stand up in there. As long as you're like under probably 5'10", you could stand up in there too. So it's pretty cool. So maybe when we come back, if I can work it out, I'll have a little picture of it.
I saw those pictures, Scott, and I had 1,000 thoughts run through my head. Not one of them was wondering if you were naked or not. So thank you for putting that one in there. I appreciate it.
It was kind of obvious that he was.
I was not. I wasn't. I had my tighty whities on.
In the hot tub.
Yeah, I'll have a full video later. Okay.
Somehow that's worse, Scott.
Please don't.
See the kind of abuse I take. I love it.
Well, it's not abuse. We're trying to save you, brother.
Oh, all right. I'm sure I've humiliated myself enough now. All right. I don't know if you guys caught any of the footage, but Alex Jones any of the footage of his court battle. There's no, so the Connecticut jury, and he did this to himself with his mouth, ordered Alex Jones to pay $965 million to Sandy Hook families. I'm sorry, Alex Jones is probably a millionaire, but I don't think he's over 100 million, and certainly not anymore. He laughed, but he kind of laughed at people the whole time. Of if you caught any of the court footage, I don't know if you did, but there's no way anybody could pay that back.
No, not a chance.
Now, I never followed him because he was against my palate. I just have a hard time with really rude people. But is he still on the air?
I haven't a clue. I barely know who the guy is.
Okay, all right. He's just incredible in his own special negative way. So Just Desserts is we'll put that in the Just Desserts column. Watching
Couldn't
this
happen to a worse guy.
Watching this morning, and I know it's been going on for a long time, and I've always shook my head at why we support Saudi Arabia. And now today, big news story, kind of in cahoots with Russia over this whole oil thing and the oil slowing down production and everything. And I couldn't catch the senator's name, but he was on there saying, you know what, we need to stop giving these people weapons. We need to stop supporting them in every possible way that we can because they've always worked against this. And I was like, duh. So, and then look how they treat their look how they treat their people.
Yeah,
you know, it's like the same thing that's going on in Iran. You know, it's funny we invade a lot of countries, but then when we see like people like in Iran, just they're now the government's just like driving through neighborhoods and randomly shooting into houses and stuff. We don't go help them. I don't know. Seems like those people need some help. I don't know.
It makes me sad to go look at the photos of those areas in like the 70s, where they wore modern clothes and had shopping malls and it could have been downtown New York, in some of those bigger cities. And it's just a shell now. None of that exists anymore.
I can get that we don't want to go into the Middle East, into another country or anything like that. But,
right.
Those people have no way to fight back because it's not like America where they can own a gun. Those a lot of those individuals, they don't have weapons. The government has them all. So why don't we just airdrop some rifles? Is that a bad idea? I mean, it looks like they need to defend themselves from their own government, and that's really scary. We talk about it all the time. It's going to happen, or people do in the media, or whichever side. It's going to lead to a civil war. I think the past several years have shown us how close and how fragile our connected society has gotten. Well, just like I think you whispered a second ago, oh, we're finally on the same page.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
He did it kind of under his breath. I caught it.
Okay.
I was looking at him, though. I got my finger on you, buddy. All right.
Quit looking at me.
This is horrible, and I definitely won't play the video. Macomb County, I don't know where that is, but somebody caught on video the local veterinarian beating and choking and slamming a dog to the ground and then released it to virally.
Wow.
Yeah. Says it was filmed by a child who later posted it to YouTube. Oh, the video titled "My Dad." Oh,
man.
Wow, has been removed. Oh, yeah, scary. People in positions of power sometimes, what happens? How do we, I would like to have unlimited power just so I could see what happens to me.
Yeah.
Because it seems like
power. Yeah. Absolute power absolutely corrupts.
Oh. Mm-hmm. On the employee front, I found another story saying pretty much, and I was trying to find, I had it laying on my desk yesterday. It was a local doctor gave me his list of new employee rules, and like one of them was you get 5 personal days a year. It's Labor Day, Memorial Day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, and New Year's Day. You had 5 personal days a year. And it was just, it was horrible like that. But they say you can get away with murder at work now because nobody wants to give up their employees. They're hoarding them.
Yep.
That employers are paying as much as they can afford to, maybe even cutting into profits that they're usually used to getting just to hold on to employees because they're busier than ever. And this particular story was talking about a restaurant, but we see that we were so starved for restaurants for 2 years. You got a lot of people wanting to eat out now.
Mm-hmm.
This town doesn't have enough restaurants for the amount of people that live here. And you really, I don't go out and eat simply, only had a couple of them that are a little slower because maybe the food isn't as good. But that's actually where I go because I don't want to stand outside of a door waiting for a table. And our two biggest restaurants in town, and they're quite large, they're like impossible to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, but then, the way things cost nowadays, so you could see a need for another restaurant, but who's got the money to go out and buy all that equipment new and build a building? That's astronomical, and there isn't.
Saddled with a massive monthly payment for a business loan.
Yeah. And there was
right off the bat.
Yep, there was an old one that was abandoned, and apparently another family member is rejuvenating that. And you can see that stuff's being thrown out, and they're tearing stuff apart. So we're going to have another one, which is good, but they had to get an existing one, that's been closed for a while. And I don't know how you build something like that in a small town nowadays. It seems impossible.
Right.
A lot of secondhand store stuff and a lot of elbow grease.
Yeah, used restaurant equipment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah. So, employees out there, you can do whatever you want at work now. Feel free to
Good
serve.
microwave and an air fryer in the back.
Ask for some perks at work. You know what? It's about time we had some free coffee around this place. Go for it. Push it a little bit. All right, let's see. I had a couple fun ones that I never hit yesterday. First one, I guess not so fun. Cars from Florida now hitting the internet. Flooded cars from Florida. So do you guys know how they get away with taking a car that was in a flood like that and circumvent like Carfax and get it out there for sale?
They just don't report it, right?
No, I think because they want their insurance money. They're reporting it, but then that car gets a salvage title, right? Then what they do is they take another car like that's been wrecked and they swap the VIN numbers. I saw a video on it where they were actually cutting the VIN numbers out of the like an old car and taking it and making it look like it belongs on another car. So they swap the VIN numbers, and you can buy the car. Might run and look really good and all that because they cleaned it up, but within months they say you'll start having problems because of the salt water. Everything else in the car will start corroding.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had one time. I briefly had like an old Bronco 2, and it just could have been because it was a Bronco 2, but it was so corroded in the engine compartment, everything. It was ridiculous, and you could just grab a wire and break it right off in the middle of it and stuff. It was in absolutely horrible shape. I think it was one that eventually got flooded. So if you're out there in the market for a new car, and they are hard to come by, they say Florida's in trouble because we have such a used car shortage, and now you've got hundreds of thousands of people that need cars. So.
My sister's first car was a Volkswagen Bug, and it had the battery was like in a box on the passenger on the seat in the back, and it was because if you lift up where the battery's supposed to go, it was all corroded. There was road.
It was road.
There was just road.
So it was just a big hole
under the floorboard in the back seat. Yeah.
Yikes.
No one was allowed to use the back seat.
All right. Let's see. I had some sports stuff from yesterday. Houston Astros pitcher Phil Matton is out of the playoffs with a self-inflicted injury.
Oh, no.
Yes. And the pitcher, that's not good, right? Reliever told reporters on Tuesday that he broke a finger in his pitching hand when he punched his locker after a game last week. He did so after allowing 2 hits and 2 runs in the Astros season finale, a game that Houston won 3-2. One of the hits he allowed, his little brother, Phillies infielder Nick Matton.
No wonder he was mad.
Oh, my brother's going to, egg me about this for years. Years.
I think I saw that scene in A League of Their Own.
And did you see the clip of Devontae Adams after he was frustrated, the football player, after Las Vegas Raiders 30-29 loss to Kansas City Chiefs? He'll regret how he took out his frustration. On the way back to the locker room after the game, Adams shoved a cameraman to the ground.
Oh, man. I heard this morning they're pressing charges.
They are. I heard that was a rumor in the story that they were thinking that the reporter would be pressing charges. And he said he pushed him out of his way because he got in front of him. And he apologized, but yeah, that was a takedown. So,
yeah,
I've been tackled by like a full-geared football player just once though. I had no pads or nothing either. That's what happens when the little guy gets mouthy to somebody who's had way too much to drink.
Well, stop streaking across the field, Scott.
I know.
And they wouldn't tackle you.
Why were you streaking?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have apologized for this before. Sometimes nice people do mess up, okay?
I can just see Scott running out of his space capsule across the field.
No, I landed in the field. Get it straight. There used to be a
legs running for all they're worth.
There was a TV show when I was a kid. I think it was Lloyd Bridges. Was like a farmer and it was before the movie about it. But he was like a farmer who built his own rocket and would go up into space all the time. It was really cheesy. I think it lasted like a season. But I was into anything that would come out sci-fi as a kid too. So it was like, oh, spaceship movie, ooh, spaceship TV show, yay!
Didn't Billy Bob Thornton make a similar movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody got that bad idea from the old TV show, but somebody had that bad idea.
Was it like The Good Farmer or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then you got to realize it's not going to be a good idea if you've cast Billy Bob Thornton as the star. I'm sorry, because ever since Sling Blade, I see that I would have never done that movie. Yeah, ever since Sling Blade, I'm like, that is one creepy dude.
There was nothing wrong with Bad Santa.
That's true, because it's kind of creepy, so he fits.
It is kind of creepy.
See, I have a thing here. All right, I'm not being nice. I'll stop now. Here, I'll be nice. This is some good advice, all right? You guys, especially you, Alan, because I know how social media you are. You may not give your social history much thought, or your search history is more important. Practicing good browser hygiene can help you maintain your online privacy. Your computer's search history is like a diary of your life. If you don't delete it regularly, you might be exposing more sensitive data than you think. So it's a good idea to clear your browsing history now and then. And if you ever use a public computer, always clear your search history after each session. The story also says installing and running a powerful tool like System Mechanic can assist in keeping your browser history private. Quick Scan, a program that comes, another program you can get alerts you to any compromised privacy settings and helps you find browser-stored passwords that may be vulnerable to hacking. You can also maintain your privacy while online by opening a private browser window called Incognito. What are you doing? What are you doing? You need to use an incognito browser. Now, if you're banking, it's okay. All right, you can close it when you're done and delete your browsing history on the browser you use. However, it's important to point out when you clear or delete or hide browsing history on screen, you do not remove visits to those websites. In other words, even though the next person to use your computer won't be able to see where you were, the sites you visit could still see that you were there.
Well, even the incognito mode, they warn you that you'd like law enforcement and stuff can still access that history.
Now, I don't know I don't use one, but they talk about what are those? A private LAN or
VPN.
VPN. That's what I'm looking
network.
for. A VPN. Supposedly that bounces you around the world. So if people that are really paranoid about their banking and stuff, you could probably use something like that. It's really hard to track what's going on, I guess.
I delete all my history and cookies and all that stuff every couple of days.
Really?
Mostly because of the word games, my daily word games. If I fail, then I have to delete all my history so I can cheat and do it again and get a second chance.
I'm horrible. I don't ever go looking to clean up stuff until my computer slows down. I'm like, better go see what's holding it up here.
Clean out the cookies.
Clean out the cookies. How about the comedian performing at a New Jersey club had a beer can chucked at her head over the weekend? Yeah. While she was doing her show. I had that happen DJing once. where a woman threw an entire hurricane glass with a grasshopper in it at my face and actually ducked at the last minute and hit the wall behind me. And I had long, beautiful hair, and it was all full of green grasshopper.
Wow. I had someone throw a beer can on me when I tried to do a Creed song during karaoke at a
Ooh,
bar.
same thing. That's what she was mad I hadn't played her request yet. That's why she threw the drink at me.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I wasn't going to play it because she asked for like the hokey pokey or something. Something dumb, And I'm like, no, I got the whole bar dancing. I'm not playing the hokey pokey. All right. That comes
I'm just embarrassed to admit I tried to do a Creed song. I was young. I was stupid. I didn't know any better.
Give us a few lines of that song right now. Can you remember?
I don't even
know. That's what we should have as a special segment on Thursdays. Karaoke with Chuck.
That's right. We should. No, we won't.
Are you a good singer?
No.
Yeah. Alan is.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Oh, you're a good
I hold my own, but I'm not great.
All right, the comedian performing at the Jersey Club had a beer can chucked at her head over the weekend by the husband of an apparent Donald Trump supporter who heckled the comic while she was on stage. Let's see, it was Uncle Vinny's nightclub. This sounds scary already. They're going to press charges. The nightclub's pressing charges against the beer thrower, not the comedian. All right. And she actually did a very good going back and forth with him. It was kind of funny. And then after the beer throw, she managed to keep doing her show, which was kind of impressive. It's kind of like when Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's nuances there that are different.
Oh man, it says here she said the heckler, the female heckler said, "I can just tell by your jokes you voted for Biden." And the comedian shot back, "I can tell by the fact that you're still talking when nobody wants to hear you that you voted for Trump." And the crowd applauded, it says, and then here came the beer can.
Wow.
Because he knew he had been beat.
She had been. This was girl versus girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the bits and breaks section of today's show. You with me, guys? I also sent you, I think, both an email with some fun stuff on it, too. Let's run through the stuff we have for today, though, if I can find the button to click. There we go. A tweet of the week. I'll start it off. Signed up for this guy says he signed up for a workout class that was too advanced. So when the instructor said, do a plank and bring your knee to the opposite elbow, he said, I did a modified version where I turned off my computer and made pancakes.
Good for him. That sounds like the appropriate action to take, honestly. Yeah.
All right. The next one I get to ask you both because you're both dog owners. Says you're given 10 seconds. Chuck, we'll start with you. You're on top today of your Hollywood Squares. You are given 10 seconds to talk to your dog and he understands you. What are you going to tell him, Chuck?
Why are you so annoying?
So you're going to ask him a question.
Right. I would ask him a question.
Do you think you got like 5 seconds left? Then is he going to be able to respond?
No, I would say just wait. I will be there. The food will be there. I will let you out of the room. I will let you outside. Whatever it is, just wait. Have patience.
There's your 10 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Alan, same deal. You got 10 seconds to talk to your dogs, and let's say they understand you. What are you going to say?
Quit peeing on my wheels.
Oh, yeah, you love them truck wheels, don't you?
I do.
You're like obsessive about your truck wheels, aren't you?
I'm obsessive about my truck.
It's just a thing, Alan. Can't take it with
I
me.
know it is, but it's beautiful.
But people would say that to me about my car, and I'd say, yeah, I might not be able to take it with me, but I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here.
You betcha.
Tell them if you just poop in one place, you will stop stepping in it.
A true story.
Is that a problem?
That corner over there, use that. Don't just go wherever you feel like it.
Is that really a thing? Like, do your dogs go out in the yard and step in it and track it back in the house?
Occasionally. Not as much as they're not so much anymore. They're better about it now, but when they were puppies, yes.
All right, now we put boots on them.
Right.
All right, Chuck, some advice for me. What's a deal breaker when it comes to dating?
Well, one woman on Reddit said there was a guy who'd been dating for a few weeks.
Wait a minute, this isn't for me.
What?
I said advice for me. This isn't for me. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be kind of advice.
Okay. Thanks.
Well,
You
she
can
might be
reverse it.
talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is advice. Don't do this again, Scott. So it says, one day we go out together and I spend the night with him for the first time. I brought a change of clothes and my essentials, including a toothbrush. I realized I forgot my toothpaste and couldn't find toothpaste in the immediate vicinity of the man's bathroom sink. She didn't want to go snooping around for his stuff, so she asked him, "Hey, do you have any toothpaste I can use?" No joke, it takes him at least 5 minutes to find toothpaste. He had to go in another room, and it was a sample bottle like you get from the dentist after a visit, and you could clearly see it had never been opened.
Gross.
Wow.
That is so creepy.
That's disgusting.
So why wouldn't he had a didn't he? Maybe have toothpaste?
Maybe
Surely.
not.
Maybe
I
he
can't
brushed
even
with
imagine.
baking soda and he was embarrassed by that or something.
I don't know. I'm so obsessed with it. I have these new little brush picks coming in the mail today, and I'm so excited.
Oral hygiene with Chuck.
They're little brushes. They go little fine brushes, and they're amazing. It's like brushing your teeth before you brush your teeth.
All right.
It's like a dream come true.
Chuck's turning into a senior citizen before our eyes.
That's right.
No other ideas why he wouldn't give her the toothpaste?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
All right.
nothing.
Yeah, so maybe he just didn't brush. Well, she's lucky she found out before she kissed him.
Yes.
All right, industry trade secrets with Alan Milani.
Well, when you shop at Walmart, you'll sometimes hear an announcement saying security cameras to zone 6 or another number. Walmart plays these announcements at random, hoping that someone who might be stealing will think they're being watched and decide not to shoplift.
You know what creeps me out?
That's genius.
And I'm not stealing anything.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I'm like, somebody's watching me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Creepy.
If you call a call center and the person on the other line puts you on hold with no music, they can hear everything you're saying. I worked for an insurance call center when I was young. I had so many people accidentally confess to insurance fraud that way.
Ooh.
Well, I'm going to tell them that I did this and this and this when they get back on the phone, honey.
Right.
I can't believe they're buying this.
Somebody's always
Another
listening.
Another person says, take it from someone in the automotive industry. Never buy the first year of any new model car. Generally speaking, the last of a generation is the best. That's when all the facelifts and problems are worked out and the generation has matured.
Agreed. Is that really a trade secret? Isn't that kind of common knowledge?
I think that's probably common knowledge now.
I've been saying that to the kids or whatever because my daughter will be in a market for a new car soon. And I was just telling her, don't run out and buy one of these electric cars there because they're affordable. And I shouldn't be saying this on the radio, maybe. But don't run out and buy one for these first generations of electric cars. They're going to be fraught with problems. Look at all the recalls a regular car gets. Now you have one that's totally electric. I just think there's going to be a lot of recalls, a lot of problems. And I think battery technology needs to get better. We need to give that a chance to catch up with this electric car initiative. And I think safer and longer-lasting batteries will come about because of the need. But I think buying one right off the block, unless you got money to burn, bad idea.
Right.
Well, some of them are now on third, fourth, fifth generation. So
you're driving a Prius now. You could feel totally safe going out and driving they've been run through their paces for a decade. So buying a hybrid like that's a smart move.
Well, it's just a 4-cylinder engine anyway. It's just it basically just shuts off when you're at a stop sign.
I'm excited to have a car that gets almost 40 miles to the gallon because I haven't had one since 1987 when I had a Honda Civic. And it got 42 miles to the gallon. You can't even get 42 miles to the gallon out of a Honda Civic today. Explain it to me.
Nope.
I had in the 90s. I had a what does it look like? A little pregnant roller skate. It was a Ford Festiva, and that thing. And no one believes me, but it got 65 miles to the gallon.
It was like a 3-year car. They lasted for about 3 years, and then they died.
Yeah, they were like the K cars.
Oh man, that was my first car.
Oh, yeah.
The disposable cars.
My wife and I both had a K car as our first car. Man, that thing was garbage.
You mean you shared it, or you each had a K car?
We each just by chance happened to have a K car as our first car.
Oh, sorry. I saw one the other day here. Looked brand new. Like Grandma had it in her garage since 1988 and just pulled it out. Yeah. I was
Get
like,
outta here.
wow, no way, a K car. And I pointed it out to the kids, and they were like, what's a K car? So long, bad, horrible story.
I think about it, and that thing was, when I was 16, that car was 10 years old. And you think
That's
about
impressive.
it now, a 10-year-old car, that's
Nothing.
still a relatively new car.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the K car. It was about ready to explode,
No,
right? Yeah.
That thing was an old beater by 10 years old.
Yeah. All right, Alan.
If you ship through FedEx Express and you're sending many packages or envelopes to a single stop, ship one of them priority overnight and the rest standard. The rest will all be delivered together with the priority package.
Oh.
That's kind of a life hack there.
Wow.
Money saver.
Wow.
Growing up in Alaska, there was a huge hack. Never, if you live in Alaska, never pay for the quick shipping on anything because everything gets shipped by air because there is no ground shipping. So everything is 2-day delivery, no matter what.
I thought you were going to say never ship FedEx.
No, no. It's no matter what you get, it's going to come at the same time, and it's all air shipped because there's no ground.
Now, it could be
Right.
coincidence, but I experienced the same thing in Chihuahua a few times where I tried to have something shipped to me overnight and never made it overnight.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're too far
No.
out or something.
We're
I
in
don't
the
think that
States.
So don't bother paying for overnight service because it would not get here. So I, just go for the 2-day. What
I
else
will
you
have
got?
to say I ordered something from Amazon last week, and for the very first time ever, it literally came the next day, and it came from the Spokane warehouse.
Get out of here.
That's the first time I've ever ordered anything that came from the Spokane warehouse, and it was
blasphemy.
I ordered it at like 6 p.m. and it came the next day.
I hate to admit it, but over here on the East Coast, it's actually, and once again, I'm far out, not like isn't cool living, way out there. It's actually, I'm still upset about Amazon Prime not doing the 2-day shipping anymore. And if I order something, it's get delayed a lot of times, and it's usually a week out in the first place. But and I really hate to admit this, if I order off Walmart.com, they have the same thing, and it's usually about the same price. It's here within 1 to 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, which
I've
makes me,
noticed that.
why won't Prime do that? Why aren't they back to that place? Is it still going to tell me supply chain issues, not enough employees? I'm paying for 2-day shipping. Why don't I get it anymore?
We were talking about that last night. They're doing like a shipping range, like a date range now, and it's really annoying.
It is.
I just got a jacket that I waited a month for, and it was too small. So I went to process the return, and now, what do I have to wait for another month for another one?
It's kind of like this, you guys. We're Americans. We want our stuff now.
But they did tell me I can keep the old one, and for $15, they'll send me a new one out and ship it overnight. So
All right.
I'll do that.
All right. This is called Shopping with the Boys. Keep going, Ellen.
If a medical professional ever suggests you get a second opinion, for instance, a nurse at the doctor's office, that person may be concerned about the quality of the medical care you are currently receiving. In other words, you really should get that second opinion.
Mm-hmm. When your doctor leaves the room and the nurse is like, you should get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Get a second opinion.
Take that advice.
There's so many jokes that just popped into my head that I can't do.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Last one, Ellen.
So at any fast food drive-through, the speaker box hears everything from when you pull up until after you drive off. If you talk bad about us, we hear it. If you are arguing with your other passengers or on the phone, we hear that too.
Once again, somebody's always listening.
True story.
All right, a few misleading food names. First up on my list, Bear Claw.
There's no bear in there at all.
There's no bear here. Not even anything sharp to pick my teeth with when I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. It's an almond-flavored, yeast-raised pastry shaped in a large, irregular semicircle with slices around the outside, evoking the shape of bear's claw. Nope. Not at all.
No bear.
I saw somebody the other day selling bear fat soap. I thought that was interesting.
Ah,
Really?
ooh,
Made with bear fat. Yeah,
yuck. And this means they're killing bears. All right.
that's true.
Or milking them for their fat. I don't know.
How do you milk a bear?
I don't know. I thought you... Chuck's from Alaska. How, Chuck?
Just, like this.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like a chicken, but bigger.
I made
It's the
myself
same
blush.
way you milk a moose.
Yeah, right? Duh, Scott.
Carefully. All right. Hawaiian pizza. This version of pizza does not come from Hawaii at all. It is a pizza with toppings of pineapple and ham and sometimes onions and peppers. The name probably came from pineapples that grow in Hawaii, as well as the traditional place of pork in the native Hawaiian diet. All right.
But you use Canadian bacon.
Yeah. Which is wrong all in itself.
Yes.
All right. Boston cream pie. It's not a pie, but a cake. Buffalo wings. This one's obvious, too. I want some real buffalo wings on this plate immediately. Not made from buffalo, as people might think. They're fried chicken wings coated in a hot pepper sauce named after the city of Buffalo. Could have had a V8 with that. Yeah. All right. Elephant ear? Huh. That'd be tragic, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God.
That would be tragic.
Look what I got at the fair, honey. It's like 20 pounds. Could you help me carry this? It's a lot to eat.
Bad things.
All right. Deep fried, thin pastry, lightly coated in cinnamon sugar powder. Name is derived from the final shape of the rough dough to resemble a very tiny ear of an elephant.
Yeah, all these things are making me hungry.
I'll get hungrier. French fries is next on my list of things that, well, are misleading. They originated in Belgium.
I think you mean freedom fries. Scott, this is America.
Oh, freedom fries. French dressing. People in France have never heard of it. They don't even know what it is. Never use it. Yeah. German chocolate cake. It's not German, but Holy American layer cake deriving its name from Sam German. I am so disappointed with this. He invented the sweet baking chocolate German's baker's chocolate in 1852. It's an American thing. It's not German chocolate cake. It's American chocolate cake. Let's call it by its name.
Do it.
All right. And Italian dressing. It's unknown in Italy as well, where oil and vinegar are usually served separately. But I've always wanted to see an Italian dressing.
No. There's a website for that, Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Oops. Sorry. I didn't say male or female or, yeah. So just
an
easy up
Italian.
there, boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for the record, oil and vinegar is the best salad dressing.
All right. Round robin again. Chuck, you had some stuff I sent you off the internet there that I thought might be kind of fun.
Yeah. So these are, taking a break from the normal, things that I think about in the shower.
Oh, no.
Ready for this?
How did you get
Right.
your hands on that? A special
know,
sound
some-
effect for Chuck.
It's this random email.
So what's it like, because you were a big guy, what's it like in the shower now from being a big guy to a little guy? Or should I even ask that?
Oh my gosh, I can't go into too much detail on the air, but there's it's better. I'm not constantly touching the gross wet shower curtain
Nice.
when I stand up and shower. The best thing is I've become a bath person. I generally prefer to take a bath instead of a shower now because I fit. And I can fill the tub completely with water and then get in it and the water doesn't just come up and spill all over the floor.
So now, if you're taking a shower, can you actually run in between the streams of water without getting wet now?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
It's pretty amazing.
All right. Up close and personal with Chuck Ritchie. Here we go.
All right. No matter how advanced camera phones become, people always manage to take terrible pictures when selling stuff on eBay.
Or dating sites.
Or real estate agents.
Yes.
Why can't real estate just hire a photographer, real estate agents? Come on.
Yeah.
You guys
Or
are the
take
worst.
Take a 30-minute YouTube class or something on how to, don't take a picture of a cabinet knob.
I think that's another industry secret, like what Alan was doing a few minutes ago. I think that's an industry secret. They purposely try to take, the worst picture they can, but still maybe attractive enough to get you to come see the house.
And they use that fisheye lens.
Yes.
Oh, or the one that's where it stretches things. Like you'll see like there's no 84-inch cabinet in they don't make those. And garages, you see there's a beautiful picture in the listing and you don't put a picture of the inside of the garage or the shop. Why?
Because we're guys.
People care about that stuff. Yeah, anyway.
Or it's like the picture of it looks like, oh my God, that master bedroom is huge. And when you get to the house, you find out it was a closet.
Right. Right. Tricky real estate agents. As a kid, being told never to speak to strangers, but to also be nice when the new kid, but to also be nice to the new kid in class is very contradictory. Don't speak to strangers, but talk to that kid. He's a stranger.
Yeah.
It's a new stranger.
Maybe it's don't talk to adult strangers or people outside of your age group.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. When you're a kid, leaving a store without buying anything is fine. But as an adult, people find it suspicious.
Yes.
Do you feel awkward when you leave a store without buying anything?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Unless you're like at the mall, then, you're kind of wandering around. But
people are afraid to confront you nowadays. So, like, if I do that and I'm walking out and they say, "Did you find everything you needed, sir?" And I say, "Yep, it's all in my pockets."
Yes, I did.
You're just looking for them to search you, Scott.
Yeah. Pat me down.
Touch me.
Wow. Thanks, Alan. All right.
Another suspicious thing, bananas and humans both develop brown spots as they age.
At my age, I've done just about everything in my BVDs. You remember that commercial?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
Wait, what was the brand? Was it BVD?
Yeah, it was BVD.
Yeah. Do they still make those?
I don't think so.
I got some from China, some underwear, and on the rim or whatever, you didn't notice in the picture it says "Face Miracle." They come up with the worst names for products in China. I was like,
wow.
Really? Face Miracle.
I bought a pair of shoes, a pair of bright green shoes they kind of look like Nikes, but the brand name that they have on them, it says just so.
Just so.
And I'll tell you what, it's honesty in advertising because those shoes are just so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like my Face Miracle underwear. I found out that Chinese underwear are 2 sizes smaller than American underwear.
Oh, nice.
I have a pair of shoes over there that I tried on once when I first got them and said I will never, ever wear these shoes. And they're still, it costs more money to send them back than they cost,
Yes.
It's like my space capsule tent I bought. It says "Out Sunny" on the outside of it. And I'm like, but you're inside when you're in the tent. Shouldn't it be in sunny?
Right. The worst part when you do something like that, though, with the shoes, is I have them over there, and they were like a specific style that I wanted to have a pair of shoes in that style. But now I won't buy another pair because I have a pair, but I'm not going to ever wear that pair.
What's wrong, Alan?
Oh, my fax machine is ringing.
Oh, we couldn't even hear it. Your noise suppression works good.
Yeah, it's not even on.
Ooh.
Tell your fax machine to go back to the 90s where it belongs.
Yeah.
I think my big fat head is blocking the sound.
And that's how good. Old a good example of how old the carpet industry is the fact that there's and that's I think that's the only place I've ever been in town is the carpet store where you can hear a fax machine actually go off. The fact that people are still sending you faxes, doesn't it bother you, Alan?
No, it's a good way to sell that van that I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. And then it helps me stay in contact with Prince Abu Dhabi, who's trying to give me my fortune.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I actually think the reason why you still get faxes is Lynn's fault because he would not do email. So the only way they could get him a message was to send him a fax.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever just want to punch the fax machine and say, send it by a text?
I've gotten faxes for him too.
Oh, really?
Some of them actually still say to Lynn Husby.
Oh.
And they're from like the Honorable James whatever from Nigeria, where apparently Lynn's distant relatives are that are trying to leave them in inheritance.
Wow.
That's weird that they're still running the scams on the fax too.
It's crazy.
Well, they know their audience.
What?
Yeah.
Elderly, maybe.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about who that audience is here.
I got
If
one
they
today.
if they still have a fax, they must be an easy target.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I had one today, in fact, from PayPal. You know, where you've sent $300, and I sent $389 to somebody. There was no links to click, and I thought, well, this is weird. They want you to call the 800, the fake. They have an 848 number, and they want you to call that 800 number so they can try to weasel, pretending to be at PayPal and weasel some information out of you. So be very careful. It's a new one. That's a new tactic that I hadn't seen before, where there's no links to click. They want you to call the phone number of PayPal, and it's not really PayPal. And it's so obvious. It's actually, if you actually look at the address that it came from, it says Gmail.
Do you ever you're trying to do something or fill out paperwork or get some documents, usually with the government, and they say, oh, you have to send that in by fax, and it just stops me in my tracks. I'm like, a fax? How
Where
in
am
the
I going to
world
go?
Do I find somewhere to send a fax?
Wait a minute. I heard on the radio that Florida Wall still has a fax machine.
I'm gonna come to you next time, Alan.
Do it. It's only $99.95 per page.
Look at that. We're making you money, buddy.
Yeah.
There's like 4 different fax fax online services that are free if you only send like so many. So you go go back and forth between the other ones until you use up all your free ones, and then your first one resets.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
What
And
else
then
do
you
you
can
think?
email a fax.
What else do you think about in the shower, Chuck?
Oh, this next one. So babies are the only thing that we make from our bodies that you can show someone without making them uncomfortable. Look at what I made in my stomach.
I would say that depends on your group of friends.
Right?
You guys are both sick. Oh.
On all accounts.
Wow. What's funny is, Chuck's talking about what he thinks about in the shower, and Alan's like, yeah, I think that too.
Although I would argue that a lot of people get uncomfortable when you try to show them a baby.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think they look like little aliens.
They are. They're little parasites.
Yeah.
3 a.m. water tastes so much better than middle of the day water.
Ooh.
Probably on account of the parasites that build up by 3 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Rebuilding half a broken Lego set, and there's much truth to this, is way harder than building an entirely new one.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Same with construction in general. Building something brand new is much easier than remodeling something.
I suppose, especially if you got to replace a wall or part of the ceiling. Ooh, yeah.
That would probably be true.
Especially when you're trying to redo something that's not square or level or plumb, and you have to make it look nice. Yeah. We aren't bothered much by our pet's hair, but are disgusted by human hair.
It's true. We all have animals. We got hair all over the house, and we're not worried about that a bit, are we?
Actually, as we have one of ours that sheds like crazy, and it bothers me every single day.
Okay. Which kid is that?
We're not going to single anybody out.
Okay.
I love all my children equally.
All right.
Technically, it's not premarital if you're not planning to get married.
Wow.
They don't call me Loophole Charlie for nothing.
Wow.
Chuck, can you read that one to me again?
Technically, it's not premarital if you're not planning to get married.
The strain was terrific. And impossible though it seemed, he got an idea.
I do have an idea. All right. Awesome, you guys. Let's see. Alan, we're running long here. Maybe just out of the stuff I sent you, your favorite one, the one you like the best.
One of the habits that annoys my spouse the most is looking at my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
Oh, I do a lot of stuff. The way I chew.
Demonstrate on
say-
camera.
No, that's all right. I want to retain the 3 listeners that we have.
Okay.
So, number 3, I don't do this, but this is one of the habits that would annoy your spouse is bragging about yourself.
Okay.
Number 4 would be spending money irresponsibly.
Ooh.
And number 5 would be keeping score in the relationship.
Ooh, also a bad idea.
Also a bad idea.
I was thinking about that coat, Chuck, when he said spending money irresponsibly.
It's a dress code, like for a suit, and I needed something nice to wear that fits.
All right, you are listening to KCHW Chihuahua. We got to thank our sponsor. We'll roll out a little news, and we will be back. It's just a break. Good chance to freshen your coffee and go potty.
Yes.
And I found this online today. It was a recording, and we'll go out on this for the section number 1 today. Advice if you live with women. From the 3 Amigos. Here you go.
Hey guys, these are my top 3 pieces of advice if you live with women. Okay, number 1, don't sneeze. It startles them and it leads to feedback about your own sneezing style. So either wait till they're not around or just run outside. Okay, number 2 is breathing. So they don't want to see or hear you breathe. So what works for me is I pretend I'm in a coal mine and I'm trapped. I've got a pocket of air, and there's rescuers on the way, but it's going to take a while. So it's really shallow breaths, almost through a tiny straw, just enough oxygen to keep your body functioning, but no more. Number 3, if you always sit in the same place on the sofa, your body is going to indent that cushion and ruin the couch. So what you got to do is you got to brace yourself with your arms and your core, and you just hover above that cushion. Hover.
And now I'm crying. We'll be back.
Wow.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Extra money is a good problem to have unless you're a rural health provider trying to keep track of the sudden influx of pandemic relief money. Without the administrative staff to manage the funds, smaller health centers may not be able to meet the stringent reporting requirements.
When COVID hit and there was the worry about everything shutting down and everybody surviving, and the amount of money that flowed from the federal government and from the state government and from different entities was huge.
Robert Dermig with Oregon's Office of Rural Health says state offices across the country soon found they needed help managing and tracking funds. They turned to the National Organization of State Offices of Rural Health for assistance to use the pandemic-related funds effectively. Here's CEO Tammy Norville.
The sheer amount of tracking that you had to do, talk about an administrative lift. So we took the opportunity to provide this technical assistance.
Chemical weapons in the U.S. and around the world are being disposed of more safely, the result of a 35-year struggle that began in Madison County, Kentucky. Anya Slepian explains.
In 1984, the U.S. military committed to destroying its chemical weapons, including more than 500 tons of nerve agents stored at the Bluegrass Army Depot in central Kentucky.
No one in this community knew that there were weapons of mass destruction stored in our community.
When Craig Williams and other residents discovered that the Army planned to incinerate the chemical weapons just 2 miles from a local middle school, they pushed back. But instead of adopting a NIMBY, or not in my backyard perspective, Williams says community leaders took a nope approach, not on planet Earth.
One of the options was to send our stuff to some other community. We decided that that was not acceptable either.
Williams and other activists worked with scientists, Army officials, and political leaders for decades to protect communities around the world by developing new, safer methods of destroying chemical weapons.
It's been quite a transition from hostility to cooperation.
I'm Anya Slepian.
Farm folks often garden, sow, and can vegetables as a lifestyle. Daily Yonder journalist Caroline Carlson remembers it well and was baffled when pandemic-fueled internet posts under #cottagecore romanticized her rural upbringing.
I think a lot of people really wanted an escape, and then a bunch of people decided to start monetizing it.
Carlson likes the beautiful images of baking bread in a quaint cottage, but says they might leave the wrong impression.
My family did it out of practicality, and let me tell you, my house doesn't look anything like these posts.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
Don't forget, you can listen online too at kchw.org.
Welcome to 2022 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
They're going to simply show the rest of their hand, or they're still debating among themselves with this final hearing.
CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarlane explains a review of evidence at today's final January 6th committee hearing. No witnesses are scheduled to appear. Since July, the committee has interviewed more members of former President Donald Trump's cabinet and received a trove of Secret Service communication leading up to the Capitol riot. Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio won $33 billion to aid in the recovery from Hurricane Ian.
We will fight for the money, as we supported for other states, that is needed for emergency relief, money that's going to be spent now, not money that's going to be spent 5 years from now.
All 16 of Florida's GOP members of Congress voted against the recently approved stopgap funding bill, which had $19 billion in cumulative amounts for aid, though not specifically dedicated to Ian recovery. Treasury is investigating Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' migrant transports to determine if the Republican improperly used COVID-19 aid. State lawmakers had directed $12 million in interest earned from COVID-19 aid to be used to transport unauthorized people from Florida, not necessarily from other states like Texas. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones was ordered to pay $965 million to the families of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims. Families accused Jones of pushing the lie that the 2012 shooting spree didn't occur. Jones admitted during the hearing he was wrong. Pennsylvania Democratic Senate nominee John Fetterman weighed in on the controversy surrounding the effects of a stroke he suffered in May, asserting his cognitive function and memory have been unaffected.
There's no secret that sometimes I'm going to miss words, and sometimes I'm going to mush two words together, and that's the truth.
Fetterman's fitness to serve has come into question as NBC News reported it used closed captioning equipment to assist him in a recent interview. Early voting is underway in several states. Civic groups urge planning how and when to vote. Heidi Chiaron with the Arizona chapter of the League of Women Voters says the website vote411.org provides clear, unbiased information.
This is an easy way in which they can find out what does that ballot initiative mean. If I vote yes, what does it mean? If I vote no, what does it mean? And people who support it, what are they saying? And people who oppose it, what are they saying?
The California Attorney General launched an independent investigation into the Los Angeles City Council over the city's redistricting process. The move comes on the heels of leaked audio of 3 council members scheming to protect Latino political strength in council districts. Racist language was used, including accusations council member Michael Bonin used his young black son as an, quote, accessory.
My husband and I are both raw and angry and heartbroken and sick for our family and for Los Angeles.
Some council members have stepped down. I'm Mary Sherman for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our A-Trust indicators to support transparency and accuracy at publicnewsservice.org.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio and your morning show with the 3 Amigos. I got Chuck Ritchie, Alan Alani, and myself, Scott Allen, this morning. Thanks for being tuned in. I know the very first part of the show, we were actually found out we were off the air for a little bit, but if you missed any part of it, it was actually good today, guys.
Oh, we did all that for nothing?
No, we didn't. It all went out over Facebook, YouTube, and the website. But we were off the air a little bit. But you can always catch that first part on the replay that you can find on Facebook and YouTube after the show if you missed any part of it. We had a few giggles in there. Marion called us hilariously random. So I'm going to take that as a compliment, right?
I would. We'll take whatever we can get.
That's my conversation style.
Random?
Well, maybe not so much the hilarious, just random.
Just random? All right.
Well, I thought it was going to be me and Alan there for a second when we came back from the break, and we'd both just stand there staring in the camera.
I had a mouthful of food. So
I do. Yeah. I will have to say, Scott. I just outside of anything, I want to thank you for everything. And it's got me thinking. If you weren't here to sort of drive this show, I don't think it would be the same.
Oh, I'm driving.
That's what you do. You're very good at keeping things moving forward and driving the show. And
all right. You guys make it easy though, so no worries. Oh. All right, now let's pat each other on the back some more. All right, this feels awkward. Let's move on to local birthdays. Alan Milani, do you got that calendar in your hot little hands?
I do. We have a plethora of birthdays today. Well, wait a minute. What is today?
What does
it is the 13th.
I'm looking at September. So we have 3 today. Angie McLaughlin, Verna Dubois, and Brian Ross.
All right. To Plaza all the way around. You know me, love them. See them around town. Point and laugh, Tom. We're talking about them on the radio. All right. Celebrity birthdays, Chuck Ritchie.
Okay. Melinda Dillon from Close Encounters of the Third Kind is my Zoom window's in the way and it won't move. She's 83.
Okay.
She's 83.
I don't even know who she is.
Right. I don't. She was Mrs. Parker on A Christmas Story.
Okay, that
I don't
helped
remember.
a lot.
I don't remember who that was. I've seen that movie a million times. I have no idea who Mrs. Parker is. Paul Simon is 81.
Who?
Paul Simon.
Okay. Sorry, just a joke.
For the younger kids, he was a singer back in your grandparents' time.
Yeah, that's right.
Demon Wilson from Sanford and Son is 76. I'm assuming he was the son, maybe?
Yes. No, it's Red Fox is 76. He'd been gone a long time. I really like Red Fox. Yeah,
right. He was funny. Sammy Hagar is 145. He's 75 years old. 75
Wow. I wonder if he still has all the hair if it fell out.
Does he still scream and howl and screech and stuff?
I'm sure he did. And another one of the kids will probably go, Sammy who?
Okay. Model Beverly Johnson is 70. What?
Back to Sammy Hagar. Better solo or Van Halen?
I liked him in Van Halen.
I like to think that they're. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give my opinion on Van Halen. Not my favorite.
Oh. I think he was better solo, but there was some Van Halen songs that I liked. So, all right. Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going with these very important birthdays.
No worries. Model Beverly Johnson is 70.
Okay.
Marie Osmond is 63. Is that all? God, that's.
Is that all?
I mean that's like Brady Bunch. Partridge Family type era, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to cut that out and put it on our Facebook page. Happy birthday. Is that all?
Well, no. I mean, it's been around for a long time. That's,
okay. Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. She's practically a millennial. Former NFL wide receiver Jerry Rice is 60. Matt Walsh is 58. Kate Walsh is 55. Are they related, I wonder? I don't know. Tisha Campbell-Martin from Dr. Ken and My Wife and Kids is 54. Former Olympic ice skater Nancy Kerrigan is 53.
I wonder if that ankle still bothers her.
Wasn't it the knee?
It was the knee, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it was an ankle, wasn't it? Didn't she get clubbed in the ankle?
No, she got clubbed in the knee.
Oh, sorry. I wonder if that knee still bothers her.
I was going to say her knee is 35.
And titanium.
TV personality Billy Bush is 51. Sacha Baron Cohen is also 51. Politician Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is 33.
Alan, would you like to say anything?
Ooh. You get this one, I'll get the next one.
Okay.
Celebrity daughter Tiffany Trump is 29.
Alan, would you like to say anything?
I think Tiffany's in the wrong generation group. She should be Gen X because she is the forgotten Trump.
Okay.
Yep. And last one is Caleb McLaughlin from the kid that plays Lucas on Stranger Things is 21.
Really?
Wow.
And he looks like he's 14?
Right, he does.
Wow.
Good genes.
Wow. Alan Milani, how about a little history?
In 1792 in Washington, D.C., the cornerstone of the United States Executive Mansion, known as the White House since 1818, was laid. In 1962, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf opened on Broadway. What's so funny?
I got scared.
Say it out loud, Scott.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Me.
In 1999, a 12-year-old Fairfax, Virginia boy sent to the principal's office for misbehaving left school, went to the airport, boarded a TWA plane without a ticket, and flew to St. Louis. The boy called his mother from St. Louis, and TWA flew him back home the next day.
Kevin!
In 2002, an Oklahoma car thief drove 1,750 miles to get arrested for trying to sell a stolen Corvette on the internet auction site eBay. The alleged buyer was a New York City detective who knew the car was stolen. The detective said the thief probably set a record for driving the longest distance to get arrested. Oh, Guinness.
Okay, there's a note to some thieves out there. There are things you can get away with stealing and then selling online. Car is not one of them.
2005, a New Jersey man duct taped his roommate to a bed and stole his car. Several hours and 200 miles later, he surrendered to police after stopping for a few beers.
Chuck, I think it's finally time you apologized to me.
Well, that's just hijinks between roommates.
Okay.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
In 2008, Rhode Island began offering tours of several wastewater treatment facilities. Tours of treatment plants were available in East Providence, Bristol, and Narragansett.
Who signs up for that?
Yeah.
I want to see.
Great first date.
Hey, that one was mine.
Pass. In 2015, basketball player Lamar Odom was hospitalized after being found unconscious in a brothel in Nevada.
Oops.
It's okay, Lamar. It happens to all of us at least once or twice.
Twice.
3 times. We've got some stories to talk about off air, don't we?
Woo.
Wow. In 2016, Bob Dylan was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Thank you very much. That was him thanking people.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2019, Simone Biles became the most decorated gymnast in history when she won a record 25th medal at the World Championship in Stuttgart, Germany.
Okay.
Very cool.
And in 2021, William Shatner became the oldest person to reach space, traveling aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket on a 10-mile flight.
Wow. So cool. He was crying when he came down. It was so
I saw
like
yesterday. He said it was like a funeral.
Oh, weird.
Like sad and hopeful and everything at the same time. But.
Oh, yeah, because he was talking about the shape of he was so worried about global warming, climate change, the state of the earth, and he was just it was so beautiful, and to think of all the tragedy that's happening, I think is what he said had made him sad.
Well, fair enough.
What I really found unique about it is being a fan of Star Trek and paying attention to him is my whole life is that I was like, it's awesome that William Shatner went into space and finally found his heart. Oops. Are you choking on that coffee there, Alan?
Wow. Yeah, I almost had a spit take.
I'm just kidding. I love the Shatner. All right.
So many things to love about Star Trek.
Yes.
William Shatner is not one of them.
I don't know. That can't be acting. It wouldn't. That first series wouldn't have created the culture if it did. If it wasn't for Shatner's campy acting.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, I think I threw my neck out trying to impersonate him. Ow. Only on YouTube. All right, it's Good Samaritan Day today. All right, you guys do something nice. All right.
I already did that.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
done.
I can't even say the next one. I can't pronounce the first word, but it's Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
All right. M&M Day. No Bra Day.
That's every day.
Where in the world am I supposed to keep my M&Ms then?
Also known as pockets for men. Wow, Chuck. What else do you keep in there? All right. Train Your Brain Day. We missed that one. And Yorkshire Pudding Day, not made from little dogs, is what I hear. But what if it was? Would we be so happy to eat it? I want to know what Yorkshire pudding is actually made out of. Has anybody ever heard of it before?
Flour? Oh yeah.
Isn't it like old bread?
It's like a custard pudding, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's very. They make it all the time on the British Baking Show.
I don't know. I see one quote here that says, "Not to be confused with a dessert."
Yorkshire pudding is a baked pudding made from a batter of eggs, flour, milk, or water.
Oh, really?
A common British side dish, a versatile food that can be served in numerous ways.
It says here, it's like a popover. It gets made from batter and can be served over roasted meat and gravy.
Yeah, this says commonly served with an onion gravy. I'd go for an onion gravy.
Wow.
That sounds good.
I've decided I do not like Yorkshire pudding. Thank you.
Looks good.
All right. Number of the day, Chuck.
Yeah, the number of the day is 46. That is the percentage of Americans who now call their personal finance situation poor, an increase from 37% in March.
Oh, that's a big jump. Hello, inflation.
That's actually pretty. 37% think they consider themselves poor. I think that's a lot better than I would think.
So much different for us today than, and I know I'm getting older now too at 56, but my parents lived at a time where you could accrue wealth. And they, you could save up and buy a car for cash. You could save up from your paycheck and buy a house for cash. Things were a lot easier to become successful, to start a business. Infrastructure things weren't so expensive. I don't know how we're supposed to do it today. Sometimes I just wonder, with the cost of everything, even to building a new highway. How do we do it all? It was so much easier to accrue wealth. And then this thing happened, and I don't know what state started it, but there was supposed to be a thing where baby boomers were going to receive the largest amount of inheritances in history. We're going to, as this one generation died and left their money to the baby boomers. But it never happened, because during that interim, states found a way. Well, your mom and dad ended up into a state-funded healthcare system, so we put a lien on your house. Yeah. And the government found a way in your golden years to steal everything that you had saved up, and they're still doing it today all across the United States, where kids never got their inheritance that their parents saved because they ended up in a rest home or needed some kind of public assistance for health and stuff. And that's kind of a tragedy. I mean, sure, make your money yourself, but I know what happened in our family. My parents saved a ton, and they wanted to leave it to their kids, and it all belongs to the state of North Dakota now. It's kind of sad.
That is sad.
It is
sad. Awful.
All right, too serious? Say yes.
Yes.
All right.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, Ron posted on Facebook, and I'm always confused when people show the emoji of like the crying. Is it good or bad?
That's a good cry.
That's a good cry. All right,
Yeah,
all right.
He's laughing and
This
crying.
shit was
He's
so
laughing
bad, it's making me
hard he's
cry.
crying.
Yeah, just make it simple and put, I snorted coffee out my nose or I peed a little or something, okay? Let us know for sure.
When we make our audience pee, that's when we know it's been a good show.
That is the best compliment I ever got. Is I owed the guy a new shirt because he had spit coffee out his nose over one of my jokes, and it was just at the gas station. I don't even know who he was, some random guy. I thought I was in trouble for maybe one of my political comments because he says, "You the radio guy?" Yeah, and he's like, "You owe me a new shirt," and I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because I snorted coffee all over my white shirt on the way to work at Spokane yesterday," and I was like, "Buddy, that is the best compliment anyone has ever given me. Thank you." Wish I could have been in the car with you and seen it. All right, let's start off with that news attack, where the first sentence is true, second sentence bad idea. And Chuck, will you start us off?
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh, computer's talking.
So there's, because I there we go. Okay.
He's watching videos again, wasn't he? He is.
No. I was looking at the comments on Facebook, and then my earbud broke in half.
Oh.
But I fixed it.
Tragedy on the radio.
Right? So yeah, there's a new COVID variant called the XBB that could make the new vaccines useless. Oh. Yeah, who'd think we'd be longing for the good old days when the vaccine worked, but we still felt like crud for a week.
Alan?
I'll reserve my comments on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to get banned from.
We would never ban you.
The interwebs. Saturday is National Grouch Day, and Sunday is National Bosses Day. Seems to me they should be on the same day.
Right?
That's kind of true.
Yeah.
But who's grouchier, the boss or the person that works for the boss?
The boss,
true
the boss,
story.
because you'll buck up when the boss comes in. I used to have one that mumbled like Bob Dylan, and he'd come in the back room and he'd point at things and go, and then he'd walk off, and you're like, what are we supposed to do? I don't know, but let's put something together. All right, we covered this earlier. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones will have to pay almost $1 billion to families of the Sandy Hook massacre. I've seen the guy's photo. He probably has a few million in Arby's coupons, but that's about it.
Nice.
Chuck.
Yeah, so a study found the average person lies 4 times a day, which means most of us are too honest to be politicians.
Ooh. Oh, I should have had the drum roll ready for that one. Delayed.
Yeah. That's a bad drum roll.
All right. Alan?
Because Kanye's been saying some crazy things, Adidas is reconsidering its relationship with him. But before you do break up with him, Adidas, I'd probably move and not tell him my new address.
He seems a little crazy.
Yeah, he's going to send him a truckload of something.
Is he in the news again?
Oh, yeah. He got kicked off to Twitter and Facebook for making anti-Semitic remarks. And he's, and also announced he's going to run for president again.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, at some point you got to, and I hate to say this out loud, but you got to kind of feel bad for the guy because I think he's going through some mental things, probably legitimate mental things, and he's putting himself out there in these situations to be ridiculed and look ridiculous in public. And he really should be seeking help, not having the media make a field day out of his mental decline.
Why is nobody stopping him?
Well, Twitter.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder, where are his people?
Yeah, he's probably alienated them all. Who'd want to be one of his people with the things he does?
Well, and he's a billionaire. Like, he can do whatever he wants. That's
absolute power.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, you actually have pity for him.
To a degree.
Wow.
Wow.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing.
Sorry, I bumped the wrong button.
No. At the same time, I think he should be be getting some serious therapy, which he's not getting.
All right, so you're being really, really nice. Okay. All right. I'll try. So when I said you have some pity for him, and you said, yeah, kinda.
That's great. Go ahead, make your jokes, Mister. Joke maker.
Do I like the guy? No, absolutely not. Do I feel bad for him? A little bit.
All right, keep us moving, Alan.
Where are we at? A study shows that marrying a happy person will make you happier. Of course, you probably will get sick and tired of those smiley faces on your morning pancakes.
I would never get sick and tired of smiley faces on my pancakes.
Really? Yeah. My first wife liked to wake you up by going, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Oh.
No, that's a hard no.
Oh.
When I think of the time and the money I've wasted on your training, and you still turn out to be a blithering idiot, you're an utter failure. You make me sick.
That's why I'm not married. All right. Speaking of that, a study found that if a girl's ring finger is exceptionally long, she stands a good chance of becoming an athlete. And if her middle finger is exceptionally long, she stands a good chance of becoming a professional Karen.
Wow. Look at the fingers, fellas. Look at the fingers.
What if my middle finger is longer than the rest, but still exceptionally short?
I'm working on an art project. No, I'm serious. It's
nice segue.
It's all pictures of Karens I've collected from the internet, and I'm going to do a collage.
Oh, wow.
Because strangely enough, like serial killers, they all look the same. They do. I've got like maybe 15 so far. It's going to be a big collage, and it's going to go on tour around the country.
Are you saying all Karens look like serial killers, or all Karens look the same and all serial killers look the same?
Yes, yeah. They all have. Of course, they do all have a darkness behind their eyes. But I'm sorry, anybody out there that's named Karen. You might not make it into the collage. But it is a strange thing that I started doing, and I am going to do it into like some kind of piece of art and put it on the internet.
Wow. It'll
be something to do about justice, I guess. I don't know.
I do feel bad for that too, because most of the Karens I've ever known have been actually pretty decent people.
Yeah. But the ones that make it into the news as a Karen, no. I actually watched. It's a very liberal program called The Young Turks. I don't know if Alan's probably never seen it.
Yeah,
and
I actually have.
They actually were doing like they had like a doctor and another guy, and they were actually in this serious discussion, and they were actually referring to him as Karens, and I was just like, like it was scientific or something. That was the new scientific thing. If you were a prejudice or a racist in any way and a white female, you're automatically like, and I felt horrible for everyone. So all jokes aside, I feel horrible for anyone with the name Karen, because it's just turned into a horrible thing. And I'd be appalled if they did it to Scott.
Well, what is the American version, or the men's version of it? Is it like a Todd or something?
I know a Todd.
I think it should be Todd, because I've met lots of really great Karens, but
that's so
Todd.
Let's make it happen.
The Chad.
Oh, that's so Chad.
Chad's a good one.
All right,
and that's good too, because nobody's actually named Chad.
Right. Quit being a Chadwick.
Oh man! All right, last one. Autumn is here. This kind of weather here in Maine reminds me of the time my dad took me hunting when I was a kid, and I learned one important thing that day: how to go without a restroom for 12 hours.
That's dangerous.
It is. All right, maybe that one not so good. Let's move along to Bits and Breaks. We're back to you, Chuck, and we don't add any jokes to these stories. Are 100% true, and that's what makes them scary.
Oh, you said Bits and Breaks, and it made me go to Bits and Breaks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at wacky but true.
Yes. Goodness.
Right, we're filling for Chuck.
Right. And I knew where to go. I just clicked on the wrong thing. In Germany, a guy walked into a bank and pointed a small silver object at the teller and told her to hand over the cash. If she didn't, he told her he would set off the bomb he was carrying. The robber got away with a small amount of money, but police quickly caught up with him and his bomb, which turned out to be a sausage wrapped in aluminum foil. And it was the bomb.
All right, look, lady.
Don't you point those dirty green sausages at me!
Wow. Some serious stuff.
Nothing like a good bratwurst.
The only thing that makes me miss Texas is, you ever have the kolaches? It's like a pastry wrapped around kind of like a pig in a blanket, but full size. They're always wrapped in foil.
Never even heard of it before.
Oh, they get them at gas stations. It's like a sausage, like a spicier sausage that's like baked inside of a pastry.
Don't they have those at Costco?
I don't know.
They got
Maybe?
something wrapped in a pastry at Costco.
Is it a kolache? They got lots of stuff.
It's not a kolache.
That's the baker.
Yeah, you go to Texas and every gas station has kolaches, and they're always really good.
Nice. All right. I think what they have at Costco is called a chicken bake.
The chicken bake, yeah.
Yeah.
The chicken bakes are good.
Totally lost. Sounds like a piece of furniture.
Chicken bake?
No, kolache.
Oh, the kolache.
Costco lost me when they stopped selling the $1.50 Polish dogs.
Yeah.
Costco has food?
There's no reason to go anymore.
No reason to go.
All right. I'm single. I don't shop at a Costco. What do I need a barrel of Cheetos for, right?
Yeah. What would you do with 50 gallons of mayonnaise?
That's right. I've only got one tub.
You need a Coke and a foot-long Polish sausage for $1.50, Scott. That's why.
Wow. That's too German for me. All right. I think it's you, Alan.
In Germany, a guy broke into a bar and was in the process of stealing some wine when the cops cornered him. Rather than give up the evidence, he turned the bottle up and chugged it. It was a bad idea, because what he didn't know was that the owner of the bar, in an effort to catch whoever it was that had been stealing liquor, had replaced the wine in some bottles with vinegar. Not surprisingly, the stuff made him sick. The cops arrested him after he quit hurling.
Oh.
It burns the nostrils.
That was kind of a messy story.
Wow.
Smooth.
All right, I got this one.
Well, revenge is a feast best served immediately.
Ouch, that hurt. All right, that was like weird. Two stories out of Germany at the same time.
What is going on over there?
I don't know. Let's see. Australian radio show descended into chaos during a segment about an arachnophobia on Wednesday when one of the hosts had a panic attack and passed out while touching a tarantula.
Wow.
It's a great way to lose your radio job. Erin Molan was breathing very fast, and this is a lady, and letting out several nervous moans. I wasn't sure when I was first reading it, and I was thinking, it was a guy DJ, but it ends up being a girl. Letting out several nervous moans as the moment of the spider's release approached. The handler who was present at the show also allegedly told Molan and a listener who was present and taking part in the segment on spider fear to say, "Stay calm and breathe." When the listener managed to hold the spider briefly, Molan let out a horrified scream. Radio Star actually managed to get the spider on her and then fainted.
Wow.
Poor Erin.
When Molan came to, she apologized and then hugged the listener, who she said helped her overcome her fear.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, I just would, can arachnophobes actually live in Australia? I mean,
there's lots of spiders and big stuff.
How could you be afraid of spiders and live in Australia?
Oh man, spiders are everywhere though.
Have you seen videos of like entire cities that are just like blanketed in spider webs with like thousands of massive spiders on them? Terrifying.
We call that Missouri.
I actually did the exact same thing while donating blood. The lady held up the bag and showed it to me, and I fainted. She said it usually takes 10 minutes to fill up a bag of blood. It's only been 5, and she showed it to me, and lights out, baby. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I woke up to this playing on the radio.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
It's true. Let's talk contact lenses with Chuck Ritchie.
Okay, a California ophthalmologist recently shocked the internet by posting video of herself extracting dozens of forgotten contact lenses from a patient's eye. Wow. Katerina Kurtiva, an eye doctor out of Newport Beach, California, posted a video of herself carefully removing a few contact lenses from a patient's eye. Jeez. Kurtiva claims to have removed no less than 23 old contact lenses that her patient, an elderly woman, had forgotten in her eye for months, maybe even years.
Wow.
The video caption, "Don't sleep with your contact lenses," shows Dr. Kurtiva using a Q-tip to carefully remove dozens of old contact lenses from behind an elderly woman's eye. Some of them appear to have turned green after being there for a very long period of time. And for your viewing pleasure, there is also a video out there.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that later.
I can't. I hate eye stuff.
You know, I'm actually going to watch that.
Here's a clip of her talking about the doctor. Maybe. Yeah, here.
I don't want to hear no more of that goofy talk. Now you get home. Nothing he says makes any sense.
I'm gonna add that in my playlist next to my pimple popping videos.
What's funny is that's exactly what my mom would say to the doctor.
Nice.
Love you, Mom. All right, last story is all Alan Maloney.
A woman has been charged after she was arrested Saturday for allegedly threatening and assaulting multiple people with food items in Minnesota, Waite Park. Police say officers were called to a knife complaint Saturday afternoon at an apartment building. Several people called 911 and said Alyssa Holmberg was going into apartments and threatening to kill people with a knife. When officers found Holmberg, police say she was chasing a Somali man who later said she shouted at him, "Go home, Somali," before throwing a jar of salsa at him. She's also accused of assaulting someone with a pizza.
Now, that's actually a hate crime, isn't it? Saying "go home, Somali" and throwing a jar of salsa?
Well, I mean, throwing a jar of salsa is a hate crime anyway.
Oh, the Malani making a joke.
I love salsa. Who hates salsa?
Nobody hates salsa.
Nobody.
All right, here she is.
Okay, I have to say something that's going to make a lot of people mad.
Yep.
Unless it's that New York City salsa.
Ooh. Is that like fake salsa?
This ain't no paste picante sauce.
That's right.
All right.
New York City.
All right, we're going to send Alan off to work, off and running. Thanks for being here. Chuck Ritchie and Alan Maloney, always a pleasure on Thursdays for the Three Amigo Day. In fact, let's go ahead and just end the show with this.
Tell us we will die like dogs. What? Tell us we will die like dogs. You will die like dogs.
No, we will not die like dogs. We will fight like lions because we are the Three Amigos.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Stupid is forever.
I hate it here.
Of course you hate it. People work here.
I'll see you two tomorrow morning on the golf course.
It's 9:01.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton. You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton.
It's 9:02.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
Are you ready to make a difference in Chewelah? New Health is hiring for several clinical positions in our Chewelah Medical Clinic, including medical